Hey guys, welcome to the Zoo Review. I'm Zoo, and today I'm going to be doing a full spoiler review of Avengers Infinity War by the Russo brothers. Now, for full context of everything I'm going to be talking about, you might want to catch my spoiler-free review, as I don't really want to retread the same ground. There should be a card on screen if I know what I'm doing, and a link at the end of the video. I loved this story. I thought they did a wonderful job. I really appreciated how they had this giant mashup of heroes and still got a character-driven story out of this. I also appreciated how they introduced our characters to one another. And thankfully, none of the story felt completely unnecessary or out of place. A thing to note, despite the name of the movie, this movie is truly about Thanos and his goals. Speaking of Thanos, he is by far one of the greatest villains Marvel's been able to pull off in these movies. He had well-developed character and motives, and thankfully his powers were not just a carbon copy of the heroes. He was a very believable villain. I also really appreciated how the original Avengers and newcomers interacted, and how their personalities bounced off of each other. I also felt like the writers did a wonderful job portraying so many varied characters. Now onto the biggest critique I have for the movie. A rare downside for me, but it felt like it was too fast. I never lost track of the story, and it didn't negate anything from it, but I didn't feel like they gave me a chance to appreciate what was going on from scene to scene. There was so much jumping from Thor's group to Iron Man's group to Cap's group. I easily followed it all, and it was well told, but I didn't have a moment to fully reflect on what happened. A minor thing that's not so much a story problem, but more of a direction one. There's a couple moments of intended tension that don't quite work as well as I would have hoped. The first is towards the end of the movie, when attempting to destroy the Mind Stone. At this point, Thanos has the Time Stone, so I'm not concerned because he can just turn back time if he needs to. The second is when Thor's forging his weapon. They really want us to be concerned for his life, but obviously he's going to be fine. I really appreciated it, but it didn't have the weight that they had intended. Either of these scenes other people could easily enjoy, it just didn't quite work for me. Regarding that same scene with Thor, it's a very flashy scene, and lacks that tension I mentioned earlier. It seemed like spectacle for the sake of spectacle. I enjoyed it and found it flashy, I just wish it had more depth. Now at the end of the movie, when Banner's in the Hulkbuster without the helmet on, it doesn't look quite right. It doesn't look like he's actually in it. It looks like CG. The armor doesn't look like bad CG, it just looks like CG around him.
Warning, if for some reason you haven't seen the movie and are still watching, I'm about to get into much bigger spoilers. When this spoiler prompt disappears, it's safe to listen again.
I was extremely surprised at who was still alive at the end of the movie, because a lot of theories were pointing to any number of the original Avengers dying. But they were all okay, whereas the vast majority of newcomers were all just dust in the wind. This would have hit me a lot harder had I not known that a number of these characters are getting new movies after the next Avengers comes out. Don't get me wrong, I was still sad and kinda teary-eyed, but it didn't have the same weight I was hoping for had I not known the future movie plans. I left the theater feeling exactly how they wanted me to feel. Sad, energized, excited, and ready to see what comes next. But again, the movie felt rushed, so I couldn't fully enjoy it. At the end of the day, I gave the movie a 9.3 out of 10. On the side here, you should see a point breakdown by category, which if you care enough, you can pause it to take the time to read it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe like it and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Full spoilers welcome. Let me know what worked for you and what didn't. And if you were to grade it, what would you give it? In case you missed it, the link to the spoiler-free video should be right over here. And below that should be the video for the general breakdown on how my movie rubric works. Thank you again for watching. Hope to see you again. Bye.